Whew. Mhm. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about fat loss shopping hacks on a budget. If you're new, just say hello. But not going to waste nobody's time. Let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a first for me. I got a slideshow up here. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, bam. Boom. All right, so let's see if this will stay out of the way. All right, fat loss shopping hacks on a budget. We're gonna get right into it. First things first, don't go shopping on an empty stomach. You do not want to go out there and buy everything you see because you're hungry. That's we all have done this at least one time or another. But that's the first thing, because if you're on a budget and you're hungry, it's not gonna go well. All right. Here we go. Here's some of the best meats to buy that are cheap for you. Both bag of chicken breasts or thighs is gonna be about I think it's almost like 4 pounds of chicken breasts or chicken thighs you can get. Walmart's the best for it. They have those out all the time. They're pretty lean too, so that's a plus. But that's maybe $7 to $8 for that whole bag. It used to be. I haven't bought it in a while. It's probably gone up and now, but uh, that's one of the best options right there. A tuna, you can get canned tuna bag, the individual bag of tuna. You know what I'm talking about. You can get some of those. Tuna's really good in protein. Pork chops, those are pretty cheap to get. You can get a whole lot of pork chops for the same price as you can get a bag of chicken breast. Steaks can be very high at certain places, and even just regular beef in general. So just be mindful of that, because it can get a little pricey. Cheap fish. Watch out for that, because it might look good, but it might not taste too good. You know what I'm saying? Just it might not be the best idea to buy some cheap fish. Just saying. But if that's what you want, then have that. Put some on the grill. Let's slide this down a little bit. When shopping for veggies, it may be cheaper to buy pre-packaged veggies. I'm talking about the ones that are in the bags. It might be cheaper just to get that whole bag versus going out and getting the fresh produce. If you want to weigh up the difference, you can, because it might be cheaper to just get the fresh one. Just put it on the price. The prices will be changing. Pre-packages are already washed and ready to use, and they're in the produce section, so you can take them home and just use them. But I would have still washed them anyways. But just be mindful of discounted fruit and veggies, because they could be about to rot, or they could be a little stinky. But those are one of the ones you want to look for. Is going to be the discounted ones. Just be careful and inspect them for anything suspicious. Buy generic when possible. You are going to want to save a whole lot of money if you're on a budget, right? So you don't want to buy the generic stuff. But if you're real curious, just look at the label and see what's inside those name brand products. And this will really save you a lot more money. Like if you were going to make some pasta one day out of the week, and you go and you want to get some of the name brand pasta, you don't have to do that. You can go and get the generic brand of the pasta, and it'd be maybe 80 cents versus like $3 or $4 for the name brand stuff. Okay. Just buy in bulk when it makes sense. So stock up on the non-perishable items, frozen fruits, vegetables, and meat. Like I was saying before, those big bags of chicken breast, those are frozen. So that's going to be a lot cheaper and it's going to last you a lot longer versus you buying it the non-frozen just chicken breast. Don't buy in bulk to take advantage of deals. Yeah, an example is going to be buying 10 yogurts for $10. Then you might end up in the trash because they'll probably expire because you ain't going to eat all those 10 yogurts. But if you will, then take advantage of that. Okay. Do what makes sense for your priorities. Your goal might be reaching a certain calorie count or your macronutrient goals. So it might simply just be eating as many high quality foods as you can on the budget you're on right now. Just protein is expensive, so you might find that you need to sacrifice the other cost or stick to cheaper protein sources like eggs, dairy, protein powder, stuff like that, so you can still get that higher protein intake. If you want to eat, 5 to 7 servings of fruit and veggies per day, then you might have to cut back on the cost to switch to frozen versions of some items. All right. So just make sure you decide on what you're gonna buy, and always also just carry a list inside and decide what you need, and if you gotta sacrifice some stuff for that week, just do what you gotta do. All right. Do what's best for you. Calculate the cost while you're shopping instead of just calculating the stuff in your head. Oh, I think this is about $20 worth, and you get it there and it's 60. Yeah, that's a big difference. I've done that in the past, thinking that's not cheaper than what it actually was. But if you only have $100, then you start there. So you start out with 100, and then you subtract how much the cost is. So it was 687. Put 100 minus 687, and bam, there you go. Just keep going down, lower and lower, and then you'll have the total. But just keep that in mind, because especially if you're on a budget, so you want to make sure you got a list. Don't be hungry. Calculate the cost if you're on a budget, that's for sure. But just stick to generic stuff as well. If you wanted to skip the grocery store in general, you can always get meals delivered to you with, Blue Apron or HelloFresh. They deliver food directly to your house. So, and you just got to cook it. That's it. If that could be a whole lot cheaper if you got a big family. That because they do like meals for the whole family and stuff. So that could be a cheaper option. So it's all up to you, and just to decide what is going to work best. But let's just do a quick recap real fast. Just don't go shopping on an empty stomach. These are a list of the best meats to buy that are cheap. Again, the bulk bag of the frozen chicken breast with the chicken thighs, so those are going to be some high protein sources. So you're definitely going to want to stick with those. But tuna, that's real cheap. Pork chops can be real cheap. Just watch out for steak. If you're craving steak or a burger or something, just be mindful of that price if you're on a budget, all right? And just watch out for cheap fish. Okay? Watch out for cheap fish. Just saying. Don't want to mess up your stomach with some fish, all right? Again, when shopping for veggies, it may be cheaper to buy prepackaged veggies. Now, this can also fall under the category of like frozen stuff too, like frozen fruits. So just figure out which one's going to be cheaper for you the day of. All right, and just buy generic when possible. Try your best to do that. Try your best to get. Try to get generic brands to save you a lot more money. And it will. It will. Now, if you don't like if you don't like it, don't get it. You feel me? If you like the name brand stuff, get the name brand stuff. But if you're on a budget, do what you got to do. Okay. Buy in bulk when it makes sense. Okay. Just remember that. Like I said, for some fruit, You even get frozen veggies. Do what you got to do. All right. Do what makes sense for your priorities. Again, calculate and figure out what all you have to buy. Who we got up in the house today? Who we got? Who we got? Miss Kirsten Howe. All right, all right, all right. You might find that you need to sacrifice other costs. That's a big one. Okay. And you might have to stick to the cheaper protein sources, the eggs, the dairy, and the protein powder and stuff. All right. It's not working. What's going on? Here we go. Calculate the cost instead of using your head. That's a big one. That's a big one. I fall into this category. I'll be calculating the cart in my head, and oh man, I'd be getting a rude awakening when I go to the cash register. And the lady says, "Oh, we need $87.45," and I was thinking it's gonna be about $45. Woo! All right. Like I said, again, if you want to skip the grocery store, you can always use Blue Apron or HelloFresh, and send me a message if you want to use that, because then I can send you the links for it, and so you can view your options. But if I'm gonna have a Q&A real quick, if anybody wants to hop in, ask me any questions. If not, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. You can always message me for any questions. But yeah, guys, nobody in the chat. Okay, it's all good. But this was maybe 15 minutes. Not too bad, right? But just keep in mind all the stuff I said for trying to lose weight and go shopping on the budget, because you know it's possible. Just gotta put your mind to it. You gotta do it. All right, stay consistent with it. Okay. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you today. Stay blessed, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all.